All right, guys, here we go. We are live. We are in DFW. Joseph, we live?
We are live, sir.
Okay. Oh, hey, here we go. We're live. All right. How we doing today? Jeff Wilson here at the DLS Rangers podcast. I am not in the studios. I am in Houston, Texas at the beautiful Marriott Houston North. And I'm glad you guys are here. And I'm glad to be in Houston. It's going to be a good series, kick off the Silver Boot. Whatever you make of that. I'm sure Rangers fans don't make a lot of it because of how dominant the Astros have been lately. But yeah, it's an easy trip. Got up, took care of the kids, got them off. Well, one of them off to school. The other one played hooky today, and then we got to head on down to Houston. Let me mention Game Time, the presenting sponsor of this show, brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app and use the code DLLS, and you will get $20 off your first purchase. All right, all that business is out of the way. Now we can talk about good stuff. Not that Game Time's not good. Game Time's the best. But since our last show, Rangers have played one time. It was a heck of a game. 6-5 walk-off win over the Diamondbacks. Like I said, Astros are next. We're going to get to all that shortly, but we have some news. Thursday was a good news day. Nathan Eovaldi threw a bullpen session, and he hopes to start Sunday. We had that scratch Monday with the sore left side, something he said he dealt with in spring training a few years ago. And I do remember him getting scratched from spring training a few years ago. Seemed like for a stretch there, I think it was 23. DeGrom got scratched, or like his first day of pitchers and catchers playing catch. He felt something in his side, so they shut him down. Then Eovaldi got shut down. John Gray had a mysterious back ailment that cost him a few days, as I recall. Anyway, 23 worked out okay. Maybe not for DeGrom, but for the Rangers it did. Skip Schumacher would not commit to Sunday, though, for Eovaldi. He wanted to see how he recovered from the bullpen and all of that. So we will talk to Skip today and see if he makes it official. The game notes came out, and right now, still listed as TBA. Brandon Nimmo, more good medical news. He didn't even miss a game with that left ankle sprain, twist, tweak, whatever it was. He left the game Tuesday, and it looked pretty bad. It looked like he wouldn't play Wednesday. Skip Schumacher had no expectation at all that Nimmo would play Wednesday, but lo and behold, there he was. He went through the drills, and everything was fine, good enough to play. I think I said this before, and I don't want you guys to get too carried away here, but I think Brandon Nimmo, when it comes to injuries and the ability to get ready to game for games, is going to be a little bit like Adrian Beltre was when he was banged up and still able to get out there and post. What else? Wyatt Langford, he hopes to start swinging a bat on this road trip. It's a 9-game road trip. He could start as early as today. Yesterday, the off day for the team, it marked 2 weeks since he had that setback in his forearm, April 30th in Arizona. So he said he feels great. So we'll see. In Arizona, Cody Freeman, he started a rehab assignment last night with the complex kids. So he has 20 days before the Rangers have to decide what to do with him. He is on the 40, and There's some talk here recently that Cody would be a perfect complement to some of the hitters they have on this team. You just got to find the spot for him. Chris Martin is probably going to get another rehab outing. Said he feels fine, but we all know the numbers from Tuesday when he gave up the 4 runs, a couple homers. He said his splitter is MIA. He doesn't know how to fix it. So I think health wise he's good, but performance wise the Rangers might want to see a little bit more. And then Josh Smith, we're still waiting for word on his next step. Thought he was going to go out on a rehab assignment this week, but then he had our little wrist thing flare up. So um, gotta figure that one out too. Okay, I think that's all the news. So let's get back to Wednesday because Wednesday was a lot of fun. 6-5 Rangers. Danny Jansen gave the Rangers their first walk of the or hit of the season, win of the season, as they scored 3 times in the ninth, and that came after Arizona had scored 3 in the top half to take a 5-3 lead. Um, Everybody thought, "Geez, that's over. Rangers aren't going to score 2 runs or 3 runs in the ninth. Not at that offense at that ballpark." But lo and behold, never know what's going to happen when you go to the ballpark. But things started going in the fifth. Kamar Rocker, who he managed a scoreless fifth. He managed 5 scoreless innings, 97 pitches, a lot of pitches, too many walks, 4 walks, but 5 scoreless innings for him. He felt better about his performance and pitch selection and all of that. Um, he became the pitcher of record after Jake Burger connected for a 3-run homer in the bottom of the fifth. And right away though the Diamondbacks started to chip away. They scored a run in the sixth against Cole Winn, scored one in the seventh against Jalen Beeks. Shout out to Peyton Gray for getting out of that inning. He came in with 1 out and the bases loaded, got out of it, kept the score 3-2. Then um, Tyler Alexander came in, overcame a Corey Seager error, and got the Rangers through the eighth, still with that lead. But then Jake Burger came in. He had pitched the night before in a 7-1 game, so you wonder, did that affect him? He pitched 2 innings on Sunday. Did that affect him? I don't think so, and I don't think Jake would say that either. But major league relievers have to be able to pitch back to back, especially closers. Just didn't work out for Jake. I thought the second batter, the walk to Perdomo, was big. I know the 3-2 pitch. He was ruled to have checked his swing by Andy Fletcher, who's not a good umpire. I thought he definitely swung there. It's a different inning if that is ruled correctly, but it wasn't. Anyway, Arizona scored 3 times. Last didn't get an out. Cal Quantrill did great to keep it at 5-3. So Rangers looks like they are going to lose the series, finish 3-3 on the road on the homestand, go out on the road with a bad feeling. In comes Paul Sewald, who had been great this year and got the save Monday night. And sure enough, facing Corey Seager, we all get those positive vibes when Seager and Sewald square off. This time, Sewald got Seager to fly out, but then Josh Young singled. All right, so that's good. But then Evan Carter flew out for the second out. You're like, geez, all right, this isn't going well. Ezekiel Duran comes up, double, makes it 5-4 as Young scores on that. And that brought up Alejandro Osuna. You probably don't feel good about a rookie there against a veteran closer, but he managed to take a walk. It was a really good plate appearance. It was a veteran professional at bat or plate appearance. Professional job. So he's on base, brings up Jake Burger. We all knew he hit the home run, but we also know Jake has been struggling. Broken bat single, tie game. All right, Danny Jansen, another guy struggling. I think there's somebody on my Twitter notification, who said, "Why aren't the Rangers pinch hitting for Danny Jansen?" Um, well, that's a good question, but the answer came came out here in a minute. Torey Lovello went to the mound for a pitching change, and in came Juan Murillo. And he threw one pitch, a fastball that Jansen ambushed, sent it down the third base line, past a diving Nolan Arenado. Rangers win! Rangers win! It was just the second Rangers walk-off victory this century. All right, so since 2000, in which both teams scored 3 or more runs in the final innings. The other instance, I remember this very clearly, August 1st, 2012, against the Angels. 11-10 Rangers win in 10 innings. Um, I remember it because that was the day, the trade deadline day, and the Angels got Zach Greinke, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's over for the Rangers." And it turned out that the A's ended up winning the division. It was not over for the Rangers, but um, that series, it was a series of walk-offs. Leonis, uh, Martin, he might have won that game with a home run. Beltre had a walk-off homer. I think they had three straight games of walk-off homers, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it's just the third Rangers walk-off this century with three different RBI hits in the final inning. Also, that game against the Angels in 2012. So pretty good. A couple things from it. We'll talk more about Jake Burger in the next segment, but Danny Jansen needed that. His averages has dipped considerably, and it's interesting. He had a really tough game. He didn't have a bad game necessarily, but catchers, it's brutal. And he was back there for seven different Rangers pitchers, 199 pitches, which is a lot. He threw out a runner, which was great. Good for Kamar Rocker. Um, Blocked a ton of balls. There was a pass ball in there. There was a play where ball was hit about 20 feet, and Jansen had to scramble out there. They're always chasing pop-ups. There's mound visits. It was a busy night for the guy. So you get up there in the 10th inning or the ninth inning, you're tired, man. You know, that's one thing that Cody Freeman talked about when he was catching, that late in games he would give away at bats because he was so tired. So Jansen did not give it away. He ambushed the first pitch. He went up there at the plan, got the pitch he wanted, and hit it. So good for him. After the game, um, you felt like there was a parade going to be held for him. The Rangers, his teammates, his manager, love him. They see the hard work, they know the personality, and he hasn't been around long, right? And he shares the duties with Kyle Higashioka. Everybody thought it might be the other way around, but it seems like Jansen's getting more catching opportunities. They just love him. Skip Schumacher said he fell in love with Danny Jansen during spring training with the work ethic and the personality. So that's nice. And Jake Berger was really funny after the game talking about Jansen. A Midwestern guy, worked at Culvers. If you guys don't know what Culvers is, fast food restaurant in the Midwest. There's actually, I think there are a couple now in DFW. There's one in Surprise, Arizona, and that's where I first learned about it. But Danny Jansen worked at Culvers. It was his first job ever, and then he was talking about how it got set up. Danny was, and he said, "Yeah, we were playing golf one day, me and my dad, and playing with the guy who owned the golf course, and he happened to own some Culvers." So he got me a job at Culver's. I was like, why couldn't you get a job at the golf course? Why couldn't you get a job picking range balls and cleaning golf carts? Instead, you had to go and work the fryer and deal with angry people when there was too much mayo on their burger or whatever. So anyway, that was pretty funny. And then I was glad that people recognized, especially Berger talked about it, the manager talked about it, the Osuna plate appearance where he took the walk, a lot of presence there. Not a lot of young guys would have been able to lay off pitches like Osuna did, but his defense gets lauded, but he's a gritty offensive player, man. He's going to be hard to send back down in the minors. I don't know that he will get sent back down once Langford and Smith are healthy and the Rangers need a roster spot. He's proven himself to be invaluable, especially right now. I mean, he's in the lineup pretty much every day. And I don't think the Astros are throwing a left-hander this series, so we'll expect a lot of Alejandro Osuna and expect a lot of him going forward. Okay, we are headed to our first ad break. I'm going to scan the chat during the break and see anything I missed. And when we come back, we're going to talk Jake Berger. We'll do that next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Hey guys, Mars Men time. You've heard us mention them before. They're back with us. We really appreciate that. And if you go to mengotomars.com, you get 50% off for life, free shipping, and then 3 free gifts. They want to unlock your testosterone that might be not doing what it's supposed to do. You might notice that you're low in energy. You might notice that you got dad bod. And as men get older, our bodies, they just kind of reprogram themselves. We start naturally to store more fat and we lose muscle faster. And the main reason is the testosterone. Most men's testosterone levels start dropping in their early 30s. I'm in my early 50s now. So that might explain why I've never shaken this dad bod. Whatever it is, Mars Men, again, is here to help you get into the shape you want to get into shape, get your energy back. There's a 90-day money back guarantee, so there's no risk. mengotomars.com, 50% off our life, free shipping, and 3 free gifts. Go to mengotomars.com. And then, with all that money you're saving, it would be a wise idea to go over to FanDuel Predicts and try your hand at the prediction markets. It's easy to do, and FanDuel wants to give you $25 just for signing up and following the playoff action. There's also the PGA Championship going on right now. MLB, as always, you can predict a lot of different things: who wins, total points. It's great. I really enjoy it. And so, from opening tip to the final buzzer, stay locked in with every pass and every play. Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18 or older. Bonuses non-withdrawal and expire 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involve significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Go to fanduel.com/predicts bonus offer terms for more information. All right, that was pretty good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed those ad reads as much as I enjoyed doing them. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Jake Berger, because as much as feel good as there was after the game for Danny Jansen, for all the hard work he's been putting in despite the struggling batting average, and everybody happy for their guy who they've really come to enjoy. There are some happy people for Jake Berger, who it was announced before the day, and when I mentioned this on the show, the MLBPA awarded his foundation $10,000 grant. So that's a heck of an honor, and there's a $25,000 drawing at the end of the year that'll be fan based. So when that comes out, we'll have to get the link out so you guys can vote for Jake Berger's foundation to win another $25,000. I told him to take it to Vegas to see, press his luck, see how much money he can make for that foundation. But anyway, yeah. So we all know that he didn't have a good year last year, his first with the Rangers. Everybody talking about how in the offseason Berger needed to be better. He was one of the three, along with Josh Young and Jock Peterson. Well, Josh Young's been great. After that 0 for 17 to start the year, he's been unbelievable and is the Rangers' best hitter right now. I think we can all agree on that. And then Jock has been better. If for no other reason than he could not be worse than last year. He still has to hit for power. Yes, he hit the leadoff homer the other night. However, Jock Peterson was signed to hit home runs, and 3 right now is where he sits, and that's not nearly enough. He'll get some whacks at it again this weekend. Okay, and so then Jake Berger. Jake Berger started out a lot better, right? I mean, he was really good from the get go. But the last 21 games have not been kind to Jake. So let's get in 2025. Jake Berger finished the year batting 236, 269 on base, 419 slug, and so that's a 685 OPS. 16 home runs, 53 runs batted in. In 2026, 226 average, so that's down 10. 262 on base, down 7. 390 slug, down 29. OPS down 33. That's early, and those things need to improve, and maybe, just maybe, the Rangers have jump started him. He was given 2 days off over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, did not play, chance to reboot, tweak the swing, rest his mind, whatever it was. And he was hitless when he was back in the lineup Monday. However, 5 hits and 6 RBIs in the past 2 games. But like I said, the last 21, even with those 5 hits, still batting only 14 for 79 to drop from 275. So 275 was where he was at when he was going well. Yeah. So, oof. But hopefully you're seeing something here. The Rangers sure hope it is. Skip Schumacher had him in Miami and loves him. Loves the guy who's. It's hard to not like Jake Burger. Um, and so Skip has seen him at his best though. The Marlins got him. As I recall, it was in 23 August. Um, like Berger played for the White Sox, and then he was traded to the Marlins and just stayed in town. I might be making that up, but anyway, so he spent the last 2 months of 23, which was a really good season for the Marlins, in Miami, and then all of the next year with the Marlins, which was not a good season with Skip. Um, After the trade, he batted 303 and 217 at bats with 9 home runs. And then 2024 played a full season, batted 252, decent, 29 home runs, pretty good. Skip said he has seen Jake Burger carry a team. He can be that impactful, and it just didn't happen last year. Injuries disrupted him. He might have felt some pressure after the trade. Got demoted early on. We all remember that, and still in between the injuries, racked up 16 home runs. Not bad, but there's some power in there. There is power in there. You saw it the other night. It wasn't a pulled home run into the left field seats. He hit it down the right field line. He has power to all fields, so he needs to recognize that as he's trying to fix things. So stop hooking the ball. Fix his direction. All right. His best direction is right center. I think everybody's best direction is right center as a right-handed hitter. Josh Young that's he's gotten back to that. I think his last couple home runs have been into the Rangers bullpen. So Jake needs to follow suit, and he does need to walk more. And we've talked about this before. You're not going to take a guy who walks 20 times a year and all of a sudden turn him into a 60 walk guy. Okay. Last year he walked 12 times. Right now he's at 7 walks. All right. Now he's always going to strike out. He's just an aggressive hitter. He's going to strike out. But a few more walks could mean a few fewer strikeouts, right? Or a few more productive outs, a few more times on base, a few more hits, a few more chances to score a run. How about he gets to 25 walks? All right, that's still, if you're talking about 600 plate appearances, that's still not very good. But let's start small. Let's take baby steps with him. Slow down on the chase, and maybe you get hot. Some of walking that might be pitchers being careful with you, trying to get too cute, pitching around you, things like that. So maybe they work hand in hand, but that's what Jake needs to do better. Now, while he's getting better and while he got off days, I know a lot of people have been wondering, because Skip Schumacher's been talking about it, when Corey Seager is finally going to get his days off. There was a feeling, a sense that it was going to happen against the Diamondbacks, but it didn't. There's always the 2-for-1. Give him a day off ahead of the off day, and that way you get 2 days off but only miss 1 game. Well, you can do it on the back end too. So Corey Seager could be off tonight. It's not inconceivable. The Rangers are also off Thursday in 6 days, but after Colorado, before Anaheim. So maybe next Wednesday or next Friday, another opportunity to do it if Skip doesn't do it now. But you saw Corey, at least he hit the ball forward 3 times Wednesday after striking out in his first at bat. Maybe there's some progress there. Off day yesterday, maybe he can argue or wiggle his way into the lineup today. I'm not sure. At some point the manager needs to do what's best for the hitter, and it might be time for there. But in that game Wednesday, and we talked about it, in the 8th inning, second batter rolls one up the middle, easy ground ball, and Corey Seager just missed it. Maybe that's a sign of some mental fatigue there. or physical fatigue. He's only had 1 day off this season, Corey Seager. He's only missed 1 game this season, which is pretty unusual because, again, he's usually been hurt by this time. But he is hurting at the plate. Let's find his numbers from today's game notes. Hitless in 7 straight and 0 for his last 27. It's a career-long hitless streak. Career-long, both in games and at bats. His last hit was last Wednesday against the Yankees. 6 for 61 since April 26th. 6 for 61. That's an 0.98 average, 23 strikeouts. He has the 8th lowest average in the American League. Corey Seager. Wow. And he has started 24 straight games at shortstop since April 17th. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Now, he's still reached base in 24 of the last 31 games. Okay. But, man, he needs to get that swing straightened out, whether it be with his hitting coach, whether it be with listening to the Rangers hitting coaches, whatever it is, the Rangers have to get him going. Now, against the Astros, Corey Seager is good against everybody, right? So he's going to have good numbers against just about everybody. Against the Astros in his career, 288 average, 351 on base, 509 slug. That's an 859 OPS, 10 home runs, 10 doubles, 25 RBIs. That does not include the postseason and his big home run in the ALCS in 2023. We all know about that. So maybe he does get in here. It's 3 right-handers. If they are slider specialists, well, that can be a problem. He's 3 for 38 against sliders. Probably just needs a day, maybe 2. So we'll see. And see what that looks like today. Let me go to the chat real quick, see if there's some Seager talk. Well, we don't want to quote that one. I wonder if Seager having a new baby is affecting him. That's always a possibility. It's a big lifestyle change, a big adjustment, though. I'm guessing that Maddie, the wife, takes care of all that stuff. They might have a nanny, or her parents might be in town. His parents might be in town. I don't know. And he's healthy. He put a lot of focus on his legs this offseason. So maybe that took away from some swing stuff. I don't know, but this isn't any good. So who said he's washed? That's ridiculous. I agree with you, Blake. Yeah. Oh, Cameron, come on. You're smarter than that. Corey Seager's not washed. So anyway, we will see what happens both with Burger, if he can continue his what looks like a nice hot streak, and then we'll see what happens with Corey Seager if he gets that day off, and if not, if he can figure out a way to start hitting it forward with a little more authority. Okay, let's go to our next ad break. That went pretty fast. I enjoyed it. And when we get back, we will talk about those Houston Astros and what's wrong with them. And boy, they're always tough on the Texas Rangers, though. All right, we'll do that next after this on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Well, as you know, the Rangers are out of town, and that's why I'm in Houston. But that doesn't mean that you can't get tickets to the first series and the Lone Star series. If you want to come on down to Houston, go down I-45. Not a bad drive. And if you haven't been to Dyken Park, it's okay. The views are good. They have a roof too, so it's going to be nice and cool. So you can check out Game Time for that. The Game Time app. Download the app. Use the code DLLS. $20 off your first purchase. My wife wanted me to tell you guys that it works, and she loves the app. They went to the game Monday night at home, found the ticket they wanted. She enjoys going from seat to seat and trying to find the best deal. Hey, whatever keeps her happy keeps me happy, right? And Game Time, thanks for the assist. Download the Game Time app. Use the code DLLS, $20 off your first purchase. Take that $20 and go buy you some dry tip at Wild Fork Food. meat and seafood markets, 9 DFW locations, or you can go online to do your shopping and get some delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Yeah, tri-tip's their big thing right now. Prime tri-tip, $11.98 a pound. You're not going to beat that price for a versatile, delicious cut of meat, and you can shave it down for sandwiches. You can cut it up into medallions. Probably use it for fajitas. I was thinking about using it for steak fingers, something that my kids actually enjoy. We were at the Las Colinas store on Sunday. We bought a bunch of stuff, both seafood and meat. And the ground beef that they have there will be on the dinner plate tonight for the kids and the wife. So again, wildforkfood.com, 9 DFW locations, or check out their delivery options. All right. I don't know if there's wild forks in Houston or not. Don't have a kitchen, but anyway, just something that came into my mind. All right, so yeah, speaking of Houston, here to play the Houston Astros, the hated Astros. I'm sure that's the sentiment a lot of you guys have. Silver Boot Series or the Lone Star Series. I think they're synonymous terms. The winner gets the silver boot. Anyway, that all begins tonight. The Astros have won it the last 9 years. Holy crap. The Rangers had a chance last year, came in here in September, 2 games out of the wild card, 3-game series, and got swept. That pretty much put the wheels in motion to start calling up guys from the minors and start sitting veterans and kind of, you know, Simeon and Seager kind of stopped trying to come back from their injuries slash surgeries. So that was a big series. It turns out that the Astros faded a little bit late too. Mariners go to the playoffs, win the division. Will it be different this year? Well, it's been different so far for the Astros. They are 17 and 28, fourth place in the AL West, 6 games out of first, a half a game out of last place. The big story for them is injuries. They have 14 players on the injured list, including their season opening third baseman, Carlos Correa, starting shortstop, Jeremy Pena, starting left fielder, Joey Loperfido, starting center fielder, Myers, starting catcher, Yainar Diaz, their best pitcher, Hunter Brown, their stud closer, Josh Hader. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of look at who's not playing and say, okay, yeah, that's why they're not very good. They can score. The Astros have scored the most runs in the West with 206. They have Yordan Alvarez, who is a phenomenal player, frightening hitter, 321, 429, 642 slash, 14 homers, 30 strikeouts, 28 walks. This guy is just, you don't want to face him. It's too bad that Jordan Montgomery's not healthy. Jordan Montgomery owned him in the ALCS, as you'll recall. I believe, speaking of Jordan, he might have gone to Arizona to start facing hitters. I'll have to ask about that, but I did see him walking out of the clubhouse the other day with his bags packed, not to come here. Yeah, the other guy who might be doing some stuff for the Astros is Christian Walker. Disappointing first year last year. He has 10 home runs. But everybody else, even Altuve is struggling. The starting pitching, we talked about Brown and uh, Urquidy, Vasquez. Anyway, they're all hurt. I don't think Urquidy's with the team anymore. Anyway, whatever. And no Framber. That's a big loss. But look who's starting this weekend. We'll show you the probable pitchers right this very second. Once Joseph is able to fire those up. There we go. Jack Leiter against Spencer Arrighetti. Look at that ERA for Spencer and that flow he has in his hair. 188 ERA. DeGrom against Tang tomorrow. Tang has spent most of the season relieving. Then I'm putting Eovaldi in there for Sunday against Peter Lambert, another young kid who's doing pretty darn good, as his ERA would suggest. So it's not like they're struggling terribly on the mound. but it's just not going that great for them overall. The offense is down a little bit right now. Now they just got done playing the Mariners and losing 3 out of 4. Mariners pitching will do that to a lot of guys, a lot of teams. So we'll see how that goes. Leiter tonight, he has faced Houston 3 times in his career, all last season. Went 1-1 with a 4.26. He took the loss in his last start. It was here on September 15th. 6 2/3, 3 runs earned. I remember him going back out for the 7th, thinking that might be an inning too far, and it was. But the bullpen was in bad shape at that time. So Bruce Bochy was trying to figure out a lot of things at that point: how to score runs, and then how to give the bullpen a break. It just didn't work out there. So yeah, it's going to be should be good crowds. It always seems like these are good crowds here in Houston. Well, good crowds of late. I remember coming here when they were dreadful before they got good, and man, were those some bad crowds. You could hear a cricket fart. It was unbelievable, and it's gotten better. I don't know what the fan base is feeling right now for the Astros here, a team that's been in first place or second place in the division every year since 2015, and then all of a sudden they find themselves last. But maybe there are some good baseball fans here who realize it's still early and they're all beat up, and when things get back to normal health wise, then maybe the Astros will be good again. But we'll see. They just position player wise, their lack of depth is really showing. You can't say they don't have depth with their starters, with Arrighetti and Lambert, with what they've done. So I don't know what to expect. The Rangers really do have a chance. I think Cameron's, you said that in the chat, a chance to kind of bury the Astros, or at least push them down a lot further for sure this weekend. And then they come back to Texas on the next home, or to Arlington on the next homestand. So a chance, kind of part of a softer schedule. I saw that in the chat. The Rangers right now, the rest of the month, they do not play a winning team. And finally, they're getting a chance to play a team that has fewer wins than they do. They've only played one team this season with fewer wins than them. That was at the start of the week, and that was the Baltimore Orioles. Have fewer wins now. The Detroiters have fewer wins than the Rangers. The Mariners have one more win. The Phillies have rallied, man. The Phillies are in second place. I know it's 9 games back, but they're playing pretty well. So yeah, we talked about how rough the schedule is. Now it's time to maybe catch your breath. Let's see here. The Astros are 17-28. We talked about that already. Colorado, an improved Colorado team, still Colorado, 17-27. Then off to Anaheim to face the Angels, who right now are 16-28. Yeesh. So there's some problems there for those clubs. But again, chance for the Rangers to maybe make a little hay. Now they'll have to do it on the road. They struggled on the road last year. They're 10-12 on the road this year. So hey, let's settle in and see what happens in this series. I do like DeGrom. If Eovaldi's healthy, I like Eovaldi, and he gets to sleep at home. His family. He was born in Alvin, or lived in Alvin. Second best pitcher ever from Alvin, Texas. If you don't know who number 1 is, then shame on you. And Eovaldi will get to sleep at home tonight, see his kids who are in school. They're almost out of school, so he'll start to get more family time coming up soon. But maybe that will give him a little feel good too when he comes to the ballpark for this series. And I was thinking also at looking at DeGrom last year, the Rangers played right before the All-Star break here, and that was when DeGrom, who had been announced that he was on the American League All-Star team, it was announced he was not going to pitch for the American League All-Star team. So he is in position right now to be an all-star. You know, you look at his record. It's 2.62 ERA, 3-2, a long way to go, but he's been there. 57 strikeouts and 8 walks. That's just single-digit walks. Is just so impressive. And you kind of look and it's like, well, who on this Rangers team is an all-star? Well, that's a good question. Josh Young, okay. Jake Latz, even Wednesday night notwithstanding, it's slim pickings right now. So we'll see about that one for sure. But I still I admit I still have some 2023 vibes when I come down here now. Um, the last 2 years, yeah, it's 2 years ago, and a lot has happened. The team's not the same, but there's still those good memories. Those first two games, with Evan Carter making the great catch, the rookie, the fresh faced rookie making that catch in left field, and Altuve. Everybody on the field and in the Rangers dugout saw that Altuve did not touch second base as he went back to first. They were all pointing. Go look at the replay, listen to the audio if you can hear it. They're all telling the cutoff man, who I guess was Seager, to throw it to second base, and that was a huge thing in that series. And then the Rangers go home, get swept, come back here. You think it's for the you know basically a funeral. You're just waiting for the clock to expire on the Rangers, and didn't expire, man. It was pretty good stuff. The Garcia grand slam in Game 6, and then what happened in Game 7 with Seager, and um, Montgomery coming in for Scherzer, like pitching on 2 days rest, and just shutting them down at a very important part of the game. It wasn't like the Rangers dominated throughout. They did eventually pull away to a comfortable win, but it was a little hairy there. Evan Carter, though, had a big double in the fifth or the sixth that kind of started to stretch things out. And then the Astros fans, man, they hit the exits. All the Rangers fans who were there, they went down and filled the lower bowl, especially on the third base side where the dugout is. That was a lot of fun. And getting onto the field after the game, with the Rangers on their way to the World Series, that was a lot of fun. And then for me personally, it turned into a little bit of a book situation where I went from maybe you'll get paid to you'll get a guarantee pay, and if they win, then you get more. And of course, they won the World Series, so you can still get, what is it called? At long last, you can still get that book on Amazon. And I still get residuals here every 6 months. I get a little check. They're getting smaller and smaller. So if you guys don't have that book, go get it. And I think I get like 10 cents for every copy. So, hey, I'll take it. Okay, so we're going to do some batting cleanup, um, and do that after this commercial break. Some farm system talk, some promotions that have taken place. So we will do that next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Hey guys, Juno Liquors, 2 weeks away from Allocation Saturday at their 3 DFW locations: Arlington, my home base, Keller, and Las Colinas. They've been serving DFW since 2014. Don't get mistaken by the size of their store. They're boutique stores, but they have everything you need. They will help you with your events. They can do a lot of stuff at Juno's, and the thing is, they know what they're selling. They can tell you what it is. It's a great price, and you're not going to regret going in there. Again, Allocation Saturday. It's the last Saturday of every month. It starts at 11 in Las Colinas, 1 in Arlington, 3 in Keller. You can hit all 3. It's a free event. You show up, you get a ticket for a drawing, and you get your pick of allocated bottles. Find all your high quality spirits at a great price at your local Junos. Tell them DLS sent you and get 10% off your first Junos purchase. And then Shady Rays, an OG sponsor. We love Shady Rays sunglasses. You will love them too if you go to shadyrays.com. Use the code SRDLLS for 50% off. How about that? 50% off. 2 pair of polarized sunglasses. That's a great deal. The prices are already affordable, and then you get these durable, stylish sunglasses endorsed strongly by our good friend John Radigan. And if you damage them or if you lose them, guess what? They're just going to replace them. No questions asked. Replacement for free. Shady Rays. It's sunny. It's hot. Boat season is a coming. Lawn mowing season is a coming. You need to protect your eyes. You can do it by going to shadyrays.com using the code SRDLLS for 50% off 2 pair of Shady Rays polarized sunglasses. All right, guys, time to back clean up. And today's an anniversary, 10-year anniversary of the Rougned Odor-Bautista brawl at second base at the old ballpark. What was it? The eighth inning. Matt Bush goes out there and hits Batista, and bench is clear. So Batista goes to first, whining like he always does. Then he second. There's a ground ball trying to turn two. He goes in hard on Odor, and the cameras followed the ball, which went past first base and then swung back all the way. Missed the initial Odor punch, which left Batista stunned. I always talk to Adrian Beltre about that. Tried to get Adrian to say something about it, because Adrian is the one who was holding Batista back once the brawl took place and went out into short left field. And I remember telling Adrian, "You were just holding him up, weren't you?" And Adrian just kind of looked at me, smiled, wouldn't really say anything. But anyway, I was on an airplane when that happened, because back in the day, especially for long road trips, for faraway destinations, as Oakland was, you flew out a day ahead. And so I was on the plane when all of that went down. And I remember when we landed and turning on my phone and checking Twitter and seeing what had happened, being like, "Holy crap!" Anyway, that was 10 years ago. On the farm, let's do it. Round Rock lost yesterday, 12-1. Woof. The good news, though, is that Jose Corniel pitched 5 innings, 2 runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Second start of the season. He missed pretty much all of spring training because of dead arm, and it lingered into early April, into the start of the minor league season. So that's good to see him back. Emiliano Teodo with a scoreless inning. It was a pretty close game. Well, reasonably close, 2-1. And then Otanez gave up 4, and Dane Acker gave up 6. So not good there. Wednesday was a walk-off win. Aaron Zavala, 2-run pinch single. Trey Supak, 2 runs of 6 innings. I bring them up because, A, that's what happened in the game, but Zavala's been pretty good, and Supak's been pretty good. And injuries, you never know what's going to happen. So if the Rangers need an outfielder, who do they go get? Well, might be Aaron Zavala. If they need a starter, I think a lot of people would vote for Trey Supak to come up. Michael Hellman hit a 3-run homer in that game Wednesday. He's got 5 to lead the team, and he's starting to come back from a pretty bad start. Good kid. Has a Rolex now, thanks to Brandon Nimmo. David Davalillo is now on that roster. He was promoted from Frisco. All right, since the last show, Frisco has a win. Frisco has a loss. Wednesday, big Aussie Blake Townsend, the left-hander, 7 1/3 scoreless, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Keith Jones and Arturo Diesla, both 2 for 3 for an RBI. Arturo's first game with Frisco after his bump from Hub City. Dalton Pence, he got bumped from Hub City, started yesterday for Frisco, 2 runs in 5 innings, pretty good in his Double-A debut. Diesla drove in another run, so he has RBIs in both of his first 2 Double-A games. Corey Joyce, remember the 27-year-old player? He had 2 RBI. He's batting .333 with a 1.065 OPS. That was a loss, though, to Midland, a walk-off loss. Winston Santos pitches tonight for the Rough Riders. 11.20 ERA, so he's still looking to figure some things out. Make note, the DLS Weekly podcast, John Moore and I had Dylan Dreiling on yesterday. Good kid, second time on. We had him on last year when he was at Hub City. we've gone back-to-back weeks with University of Tennessee players. AJ Russell was last week, Dylan Drawing this week. So maybe we can go get Julio Bourbon for the next show. Anyway, let's go to High A Hub City. Spartan Burgers are kicking butt and taking names in Asheville. We know they won 13-11 on Tuesday, 6-4 on Wednesday with 4 home runs, including a Chandler Pollard inside the park home run. Then they won 18-4 yesterday. They trailed 4-0. Okay, franchise records for runs and hits 19. Luke Hansen, the 15th rounder from Virginia last year, infielder, batting ninth. Okay, he 3 for 3, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. He had a double in there. Hit a grand slam in the ninth as they pulled away Hub City. Passing clean homered. Malcolm Moore, 2 doubles. He's batting 274 now. Let's keep an eye on him. Also, keep an eye on Brock Porter, who was the winning pitcher. 4 scoreless innings of relief, 1 hit, 3 walks. A little big there. He's got a 1.89 ERA this season. Hickory, we know they were dealing with the fire at home. So their series next week has been moved to Winston-Salem as they're still trying to do some cleanup and repairs. They're 1-1 in their last 2 games. They lost 8-2 on Wednesday. Jesus Lafalace. He was beat up. 7 runs, 3 innings, 4 walks. He doesn't walk that many guys. Paulino Santana in that game, 3 for 5 with a double and a triple. Thursday, a win. Aiden Deacons, who's bucking for a promotion, 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings, no walks, 7 strikeouts. And Yolfran Castillo, he was eating his Wheaties, first homer of the season. He also stole his 14th base. This is a guy, if he starts hitting power, he's going to become a top 5 prospect in this organization. He can hit, can run, good defensive shortstop, a little more power, and you will start to see that name a lot. Camden Perry is pitching tonight, the right-hander, drafted in 23. And then AJ Russell, aforementioned AJ Russell, he is pitching tomorrow, back with Hickory after the fire canceled his start last week, and he went down to the Spartanburg, South Carolina, and didn't make his start, pitching relief, 3 innings, 3 perfect innings. All right, the Complex League, man, they are struggling. They lost 14-5 on Wednesday as the Angels scored 9 times in the ninth. Jamyron McQueen's kind of an interesting guy. He went 3 for 4. He's batting 409 early on, 20th rounder from Brandon, Mississippi. He's a big dude. He looks bigger than 6'2", 185 he's listed at. Ben Abelt, the left-hander, local ties all around, including TCU, 1 run and 2 1/3, 2 walks, but 6 strikeouts. And then the loss yesterday, 13-7 to the Brewers, Cody Freeman, 0 for 2 with an RBI. He was replaced by S.J. Kim, who stepped in and homered for in backup duty for Freeman. Okay, so some injury news. Pretty big news in Seattle. Cal Raleigh is on the injured list for the first time in his career. Oblique strain. He has really struggled offensively. He dealt with some side soreness a few weeks ago, kind of played through it, so maybe it flared up again, so it's time for him to get on the IL. And keep in mind, he played in the WBC. I'm just saying, you can trace a lot of injuries. WBC players. Anyway, old friend Mitch Garver, he's going to get a lot of those catching duties for the Mariners. The Angels put left-hander Drew Pomeranz on the IL, elbow inflammation, so he won't be available next weekend when the Rangers go to Anaheim. But catcher Logan O'Hoppe will be ready. He should be activated today. Yankees, a little rotation news. Max Fried left his start Wednesday with some elbow discomfort. It could be a huge blow, though he says he's not really concerned. But we'll see what see how he feels after the MRI results are announced. Let's see. Stay in the East, but now we'll go to the National League. The Marlins put top pitching prospect Robbie Snelling on the IL with a UCL sprain. He had just made his MLB debut last week. Another old friend, Pete Fairbanks, the closer, has been reinstated. Braxton Garrett's going to take Snelling's spot in the rotation for those who are concerned. Kind of made me think the Snelling situation uh, when Taylor Hearn made his major league debut at Seattle, and it went terribly. Um, his velocity was down, and yeah, he like sprained his UCL. He didn't have surgery, but I don't think he pitched again that year. So that's kind of what I thought of. And then Mets, they lost catcher Francisco Alvarez for 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury. So some pretty chunky injuries there. Notable guys. I guess the Yankees got Rodon back, and they're going to get Garrett Cole back, so they could probably withstand a freed IL stint. But nevertheless, not something you want to see when your $28 million investment uh, potentially hits the IL. Cameron, your question about a Cowboys game and a Rangers day game, it's happened before. They're old pros at it. They know exactly what to do. I really doubt that the game time will get changed. Just trust me, it's happened a lot of times before. They share the parking lots, they divide them up. It works. Don't worry about it. Let's see, Mike, not Mike Maddox, not Mike Maddox. You just had something that I saw that I thought. And Cameron, calm down on the questions. I'm going to get to your questions when I can. All right. Jeez, goodness gracious. Anyway, whatever you said, not Mike Maddox about. Oh, here we go. Got to get at least 2 dubs this series. You're down in Corpus in all Astro territory. Love to rub it in. Should shut them down. I hear you. What else is going on here in the chat? Dylan Dreiling, how about him being promoted to Round Rock? Let's give him a little more time there. All about Sports Zone. Let's give him a little more time. I think that it's been a nice month, but let's see it be sustained for a little while longer before he gets moved up. I would imagine, though, that if he has a nice season like this, he will finish at AAA and be in spring training next year, big league spring training. What else? Curdu, a good job converting your wife from Astros fandom to Rangers fandom. That's good. All about Sports Zone. Bold prediction: their manager is fired by the All-Star break if they stay on this path. Maybe Joe Espada, perhaps. I saw something written by Brian McTaggart, who I really like. I know some of you fans don't like because of his comments after the 23 celebration situation where he thought the Rangers carried on after clinching a playoff spot and partied their way out of winning the division. Went over like a lead balloon with the fans here, with the Rangers fans. And anyway, he said that he doesn't think there's going to be any firings at the moment, doesn't think there's going to be a fire sale. And what do they really have to sell off? I mean, you could get a lot for Hunter Brown, but you probably want to keep him. You could get a lot for Alvarez, who's under contract for a few more years. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Anyway, that does it for today. I got to get my butt down to Daikon Field. We will be back Monday, and I brought a prop Monday with Tim Brown, who has written this book. Let me get it turned the right way. It's pretty good. It comes out Tuesday, but Tim's going to come on, and we're going to talk about his book, Nolan Ryan, Texas, all of those things that he wove together so nicely in this book. Good read. I recommend it for everybody. And anyway, so Tim Brown Monday at 1, Wednesday at 1, Friday also at 1. All right. Then the next week is Memorial Day week. We were going to go back to back to back. Watch out. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that week. But again, next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 o'clock. See you then. Thanks for stopping by. DLLS Rangers Podcast.
all silly like the mayor.